So the next step I'm going to do is go ahead and cut these elevons down. Obviously Sean puts them plenty extra length, and this is the block of wing foam, and gives you a good inch on there. And then you end up cutting out the center portion for the motor, so you end up with almost 2 inches hanging off. So we need to cut that down. We're also going to modify the shape just a little bit to make it look cooler. Really, it's about it. So I'm going to use a pencil to mark on the wood before I cut it. I got a fresh razor blade, and I'm going to use a ruler. So go ahead and just start by measuring. These are about 7 1/8. I'm going to go 7 inches long. And this one is fortunately the same. so far I'm doing good. So yeah, we take this 7 1/8. So we're just going to go 7 on this guy. So I'm going to mark here. When I'm doing this, you got to look. So I figured out these two. There's a difference in the way they're cut, and you want to have this. This isn't a 90 degree between here and here. It's a little bit over, and you want that so that way when it comes down, the trailing edge of the wing actually has a similar profile, and that will allow for the down deflection. So make sure when we're doing that we keep these elevons properly oriented while we're cutting. So I'm just going to work with one at a time, and that is the proper top edge. Instead of using this little flimsy ruler, I'm going to use this one, so it gives me a little bit better edge to hold this up against. And I should use this block due to it being a little bit angled to help give me some bench clearance. Sorry, I'm going to have to do this close to the edge, so I'll try and get it in frame as much as I can once I edit the video. Yeah, the first one's just going to be light. The biggest thing is just making sure the ruler stays in the same spot as I keep doing this. So again, it's just kind of cutting that down in a little bit. And then once I've got it there, I can carefully, I'll freehand it. And with this piece, this is obviously the thicker end. You can concentrate down there more. This one's already almost through, so instead of doing the full pull every time, I don't need to because this end's already going to be cut through. Watch your fingers whenever you do this stuff. She's really starting to come together now. Pay no attention to the fact that the wing went from white to pink. That'll be part 5. I want to finish the elevons in this video, part 4, real quick. And also I want to have the elevons attached, so when I do the next part of the paint, I'm going to splatter some color on. It all lines up and just should work better. So I talked to Sean and also I talked to Shelby Fall and decided that I'm going to do Goop hinges. This is gonna be my first time doing Goop hinges. So I watched Sean's video about it and another one, and it's pretty straightforward, I think. But for this plane, normally I would do double-sided tape Z hinges, but the tape's not gonna stick very well to this since it's not gonna be laminated. And the Goop hinges are also, should be pretty much indestructible and just seemed like the best option for that. I got a brand new thing of Goop here. I had a tube of Goop, but it was real old. I normally use E6000. And Goop is a little bit thicker, so that gives it shouldn't run down through and just be better for this application. And then I've got blue painter's tape. It's not ideal. Sean suggests the green concrete. However, I stopped at my local hardware store. They didn't have it, and we don't have a Home Depot here, and it doesn't look like Lowe's carries the green stuff. So I'm going to do my best with the blue tape. I'm hoping that the paint will actually help the tape to stick a little better than if it was just foam. So it's pretty straightforward. All we're going to do is tape out 2 boxes and then lay a really thin layer of Goop, and that Goop then when it dries is the hinge. So it's pretty straightforward, but I'll probably actually put most of this taping off and fast forward. But all I'm going to do is put tape, because of the size of this wing, I'm going to do a very little bit on the inner and outer edges, and then I'll do a piece in the middle just to give it that extra bit of hold on there. And then we'll put a piece long on each side, so there's 2 little boxes. And then using a big old glob of Goop, and then I've got a Best Western's key.
A few minutes later.
It's been like almost an hour now, and one thing I did leave this here. I'm gonna do it, throw it away or put it aside. But the one thing, if you keep this, you can actually use the Goop that's on there as a test. So this is obviously, this is thicker and it's cured, so our thin layer should be fine. Sean suggests to actually pull the long tape off first, but due to the blue tape versus using the green tape, I didn't want to do that. What I think I'm going to do is see how it comes up, and that's what I thought. It actually released pretty well, at least definitely on the top. Okay, so the top edge was a little thinner. I don't think you'll be able to see this on the camera, but down here it's glossy because there's some Goop down here, but up here it scraped most of it off. So that edge has almost no Goop there, so it's going to come right up. This one's sticking a little bit, so I am going to get a blade. Again, this side's got a little bit, I'm not looking at it, it's got a little more. So I'm not even going to try and pull this one out without hitting it with a blade real quick. I'm gonna end this video part 4 with that. Got the elevons attached. Learned a new method for myself, and hopefully if you're watching this you maybe learned something. Next up I am gonna go backwards a little bit, and I don't really have much video for spraying the pink because I just sprayed a base coat. The elevons I did spray a primer as I'd said, sprayed some white, let it soak in, and let that dry overnight before I sprayed pink. And then hit the whole thing with some of the pink. Didn't go too heavy because I don't want, I did weigh it, I believe I added about 4 grams to the fuselage once before, and weighing it before and then after the pink paint. So you don't want to put too much paint on there, because that, you don't think it is because it's just paint, but it does add weight. So yeah, the next video we'll go back and paint the pink, and then I'm gonna now go ahead and figure out, I'll probably end up using this top piece of my little bed, but I'll probably spray this pink also, and then practice flicking some yellow and some purple paint to see how it works out and figure out the best technique to get some good splashes, kind of what I'm thinking. So that'll be part 5. Again, any questions or comments, please leave them below, and hope you enjoyed this.